Hello all Witchbookie followers and welcome back to another Ante-Post selection for the weekend racing up ahead. As you can tell, there hasn't been too many of these Ante-Post selections throughout the last couple of weeks. I've found it hard to find the juice in the price that you're looking for, I suppose, when you're going into the weekend racing. And also the Cheltenham Ante-Post markets at the moment for the festival in March aren't filled and brimmed with value. And with that in mind, I've kept it to the daily selection. So far, November's been a good month for those that have followed in on plenty of the selections, including today. We had a 15-2 winner down in Limerick. But the big race on a Saturday is the Coral Gold Cup at Newbury. And I've got two selections for it that I want to get on the team sheet before we get to the 48-hour declarations, where you might see another couple of runners come out of this 19-runner field at the moment. And I quite like the chances of the Joe Tizzard horses in this race. Obviously, the Tizzard family have had a good record in this race over the last couple of years. They've won the race with Sizing in Tennessee. They were very close to winning the race last year with Fiddler on the Roof. And that's a pretty good juncture to get into my first selection, which is Fiddler on the Roof. I know he's gone up in the weight since his second in this race last year. He's second off 150. He's now running off 155. But I think he's one of the most solid and consistent horses in this lineup. And out of all of them, you'd be very disappointed if he's the one that lets you down. He's currently 10-1 at the moment with Paddy Power. All bookmakers paying out 4 places each way, Ante-Post. This is a horse that could contract a point or two, I think, come the day, because people will latch on to the fact that he might be the class horse in the race. Obviously, second in the race last year, as I mentioned before. You could arguably say that he was a little bit unlucky to only finish second last year to Cloudy Glen. He got badly hampered at 4 out by Remastered falling, and maybe would have, with a slightly cleaner path, made up that half length. He was then second off this mark at Ascot in a competitive handicap chase, and fifth in the Grand National off this mark, where he probably didn't quite stay over 4-3. He warmed up for this with a very competitive and very good fifth place run in an inadequate trip handicap hurdle at Kempton over 2-5, which should have blown the cobwebs off. And with Brendan Powell booked again, I think Fiddler on the Roof has a great chance for the Tizzard team, who are in good form to start this season. That being said, I think one of his main challengers could be his younger and slightly more down the weights stablemate Oscar Elite, who's currently 12-1 each way with Ladbrokes, who are also paying out 4 places. He's also 12-1 with Coral, I believe. I think there's 10-1 on Fiddler on the Roof in a couple of places as well. So fingers crossed you can shop around and get these prices that I'm advising. But Oscar Elite, back to him at 12-1. He was third in the Ultima Handicap Chase, over £1 lower back in March. He was a very good novice hurdler, you have to remember this. He was placed in a couple of Grade 1s back in the Albert Bartlett, and then went on to place in the Sefton as well, behind the likes of Ahoy Senior and Brave Man's Game. So he's a very good and very talented horse in his day. It didn't quite work for him over fences last year to start with. He fell at Cheltenham on his chasing debut behind 300 through 5, which may have knocked his confidence a bit. And it took until Cheltenham in the festival for him to regain that confidence. And he came third in the Ultima behind Corrick Rambler and Jericho Rock. Now, he's got a £6 swing on Corrick Rambler for a couple of lengths for that defeat. And obviously Jericho Rock is a very good horse, and they're running off the exact same weights yet again. Jericho Rock does seem to be able to find 1-2 good on plenty of occasions, and perhaps that might be the case yet again. Harry Cobden, who obviously steered Oscar Elite to a very good third place in that race, is back up on this horse, which is a big boost. Cobden's been in fantastic form at the start of this season. Obviously, he's riding plenty of good horses for Paul Nicholls, but he's riding with a lot of confidence, and he obviously gets on and understands this horse as well, and he can be sometimes a tricky enough ride. So I think that is a very important and very big bonus to his chances. So the two Joe Tizzard horses for me in the Coral Gold Cup on Saturday: Fiddler on the Roof at 10-1 each way, and Oscar Elite at 12-1 each way. Let us know what you fancy for the race down in the comments below. Of course, subscribe to the Witchbookie YouTube channel if you haven't already, and like this video if you have enjoyed it and you are looking forward to more videos coming through the National Hunt season. But for now, it's goodbye from me. Hopefully stay safe, stay lucky, land a few bets. I'll see you soon.